what are the main differences that you see between working for a big four consulting corporate in America and here in a startup?
So I came from a world, as you mentioned, big consulting companies, and the companies we were consulting for were typically Fortune 100 companies, which is some of the biggest companies in the world. So when you get to a company like that and you talk to them about their business, generally what you'll find both at the client and when I was working at the big consulting firms there as well, is a lot of processes and structure that exist. At startups, that may not be the case, right? So it's definitely less structure. Part of it is that in Israel, informality is almost a feature, right? We're not, as Israelis, we're not looking for that rigid structure and formality where everything is very hierarchical and everything has a very set process that goes from A to B to C to D. No, we might go from A to C back to B and then to F and then, oh, look, there's Q over there. We'll bring it back over here. And what that allows us to do is attack things from many different angles and try things that may be non-standard. A lot of people like bringing the example of Iron Dome as an Israeli insane idea that someone said, wait, you're going to try to shoot a rocket out of the sky with another rocket. And yet someone said, hey, let's try it.
One thing that also I like to say here, let's say that the failure is more accepted than anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I think startups specifically, and Israel for sure, you learn as much, if not more, from your failures than you do from your successes. Because your successes, it may be what you did that was successful. It may be you got lucky. From your failures, you can often do a pretty good job understanding why it failed. And next time you try it a different way because you know that this particular set of actions caused the failure. Okay, let's try a different set of actions. With a success, you're like, well, if I repeated the exact same steps again, would I succeed? Not sure, right? There's some element of it you can't explain. So yeah, I think failing is both more instructive and also, I think, more accepted here because that's the way you learn, right? That's the way you really grow and build your skills and your company towards success.
Yeah, for example, in Brazil, I remember if I would make a mistake, it was like, oh my God, I would get very anxious. How am I going to talk to my manager, right? And here it's like, I tried, it didn't work out, but I have a plan B, C, or D, right? You have to come up with a new plan, right?
Exactly.